At Set to Love, we offer strategies and ideas on how you can stay out of crazy town. See, your human experience is meant to be lived with meaning, purpose, and creativity. You are here to contribute through your essence. We are best friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and above all, find our flow in assisting you to find yours. We come together weekday mornings to bring you ideas to fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on. Take what works and ditch the rest, and always stay set to love. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go.
Good morning.
Good morning, Set to Love. How are you, best friend Shelley?
I'm doing fantastic, doing really good. Woke up in a happy mode today, so that's a good thing, right?
We woke up on the right side of the bed today. That's
yes,
great.
yes. There's always a new day. It looks different today.
I love it. Welcome everyone out there who's watching. We are so grateful to have you here. Thank you so much for being here on Set to Love. I'm Eva Payne with my best friend Shelley Garite, and we love coming to you weekday mornings, 8:30 a.m. right here at Set to Love. So today we're going to be recapping a little bit from yesterday's podcast. So whether you watched it or not, you're welcome to go back and watch it. And I'll just do a little tiny recap here, and then we'll dive into having dreams and what do you do with them once they start to kind of sparkle up in your mind. So I wrote a book, The Flow Life Funnel, and Karen out in, did she say she was from Scotland? I think she said Scotland. Picked up the book, read it, reads a lot of personal development, self-help kind of type books, time management books, and had the wherewithal and the inclination to write me an email like at 40 pages in. She was like, I already know. I went to, she's a hairdresser, and she went to school to become a hairdresser teacher. She uses all different words. And now when she was doing her practicum, which is where she's like in the school and working and kind of teaching people and stuff, she realized she didn't like the setting, like whether it was that school or just the kind of college-y type setting. So now she's trying to make videos, hair videos, and teach that way, but she doesn't like the editing process and all of that. And so she was writing to me like, what do I do? What do I do next? You know, what are the steps? And instead of just replying back, I thought, let's get Shelley and I on a call. And that the first 15 minutes of it is what you guys saw yesterday. And the rest of it is linked down below into, so if you want to watch the whole hour of our conversation, go back to yesterday's podcast, find the link, click on it, and you can watch the full hour. But anyway, today we wanted to recap a little bit about, and not so much Karen in particular, but yes, her, but just that idea of what do you do when you have something start to bubble up and moving forward with it, you know, like where do you find the confidence? And I love that she reached out. That was one of the first things, is because you have to have people who believe in you. And for her to say like, okay, here's this woman writing about creating this life in flow and following your passions and following your dreams. I'm going to ask her because I don't know what to do. So turning to someone that you know right away is, I think, super helpful. But what are some of your thoughts just off the bat, Shelley? I've been talking for like 2 minutes straight now.
Oh, no, that's okay, because it's all good. I think when you say big dreams, little dreams, when people have an idea or whatever, they have to just get started and not have preconceived ideas, and know just going in that things are going to probably change. And so when, don't look at them as setbacks, you just look at them as little lessons for whatever it is that you want to do. And because in talking to Karen, one of the things that we found out is what her real passion was. Her passion isn't editing and doing Zoom calls. That's just kind of what she thought she had to do, but it wasn't bringing her joy at all. So stop. That's a red flag. Don't go that way. Listen to the voice. And the voice is, maybe she can be a coach and just do one-on-one Zooms. And there's always other ways to get to the people, but her real passion, what was going to make her happy, is what we helped her to what I hope helped her to see that there's another way to do what she wants to do it, just in a different setting. And if you're open to that, good things can happen, and you never know, even better than what you ever imagined. So what might be a little dream can turn into a big, huge dream, because doors with flow just open, and they ebb and flow. And attitude for sure is everything. But if it's not making you happy, I definitely think if it's too hard and you're thinking, oh, I can't wait till this is done, that is not the way you want to go.
I feel like we could just end the podcast right there. That was like so perfectly said, Shelley.
Oh, thank you.
But you're right. Follow joy. That's what we kept going back to her, right? We kept saying, oh, I feel like I'm moving weird. Am I moving weird for you?
No, you're okay. You're doing good.
Okay. So I feel like first it was follow joy. Follow joy. Does this bring you joy? Does this bring you joy? And if it doesn't, that's what we need to get to that. So take the pieces that bring you joy, implement them, and then be on the lookout for other ways to do things. Because in her mind,
I have to interrupt you, because what you just said, you also said in that, when you say joy, you can be really joyful in something, but that don't misunderstand that everything has to be a joy, in the sense that it's going to take work. There's going to take effort on your part. You're going to be tired. How many nights did you stay up writing and thinking and waking up at 3 a.m? Yes, you're tired the next day. But when you say joy, and this is what I thought was important about what you're saying, is that joy is you don't mind doing it. You don't mind waking up with a thought at 3 a.m, regardless. Right. So if there's joy there, you can still follow it, but it doesn't mean it's going to be easy.
That's true. That's very true.
Sorry to interrupt, but
that's perfectly well said. You're right. It is definitely work, and it's challenging. And it's like when you just have to think, do I hate doing this? Am I really like not myself doing this? And I feel like I never want to be good at this thing. Or is it like, okay, this is a challenge right now. I don't know how to design a website. I don't mind doing it. I don't want to become like an expert designer, but I certainly don't mind spending an afternoon fiddling with a website. So I enjoy that part of it. And so for her, the editing was one of the challenges, right? So it's like, instead of just saying, taking something that is a challenge for you and then saying, oh, my whole dream is gone, forget it, I guess I'm not going to do anything with this. That's just like bonkers. What you should do is say, okay, maybe I don't like doing it this way where I have to edit, or maybe I can pass the editing off to someone else who does like doing it. But your overall mission is still to teach. You want to teach people how to become hairdressers, right? And it was like, yes, that's her thing. Now, you were bringing up a really good point, because I think within our dreams, we can niche them down to be really specific, because I think sometimes we feel like we have to cover everything. So like, does she want to be the hairdresser 101 that covers everything from color to cut to style to braids to blah, 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 product to, or is she just going to focus in one area, one thing? And I loved what she said, because she talked about how she's really good. She went and did Strength Finders, which is an online assessment of what your strengths are. And then through that Strength Finders assessment and just knowing herself, she said, I love solving problems. I love helping people who can't figure out how to get past something and solving that problem for them. And it was like, so it's not just the teaching, it's really like niching down to an individual person, seeing what their issue is and helping them. And that's when you brought up being a hair coach. I've never even heard of a hair coach.
A hair coach. Before tests or whatever. But at the same time, what's great, and I hope that our viewers are getting out of this, is that even if it's not with us, do it with someone else. Problem solve some of these things. Because I think that at the end of the day, when we finished our call with her, it was more when she hung up, she had ideas to not give up on a dream, but to do something else, or to get, you don't want to do one thing, you can try another. But in my heart, I really feel that she said she loved working with people.
You're right.
She loved problem solving. And that was really where she found her happiness. So for me, whether she does Zoom calls, whether she works with people right out of hair school, to build up their confidence, to give them some techniques, I don't know. That's what I see for her.
And that's where she needs to go figure out the need, right? That's like the one section of the book where it talks about what's the need, because you might want to work one-on-one with someone, or you might want to work at the college, but if there is no job, or if you don't know how to go out and find that one person to work with, because you don't know where to even start. So you have to be open to what everything, like what are all the possibilities? And I think we gave her so many different possibilities, and then we're like, go on a walk. Go ponder these.
Yes.
What pulls at you? What do you feel like more connected to? And then just start. And I loved how we ended it. And I think maybe we could wrap up with this. And we say this so often. So if you are a faithful follower, you probably know what I'm going to already say. And that means you understand flow. Lay a brick every day. We told her, do not stop. No matter what road you start to go down, even if it like molds and shifts and goes up and down and you have to turn around and backtrack a little bit and go another way, every day, just lay a brick, just work on this, work on, even though she had 2 years to really decide what it is she wanted to do. You were like, no, do not wait 2 years. You need to start laying some bricks
I told
today.
her, no way. And I think too is just because I'm saying not to wait the 2 years, I really do believe is we have to be kind and loving to ourselves and give ourselves the space to not feel pressure, because, you know, pressure is the worst thing. But that's the most important thing. Flow is not pressure. Flow is a little bit each day, and just stay with it. And then at a certain point, it's just a natural thing that happens. You'll gain momentum. Something will happen this day, and then you'll get a lot done. And then another day, you'll need time to just really sit back and think about what's the next thing you want to do, or,
right,
you know, talk about. She's got a lot to think about. That in
so
itself.
much. And you know, it'll be so fun with following her journey. And you guys, we're taking her on this journey with you as well. So like, we're going to talk to her in a couple of weeks and we'll report back. Maybe we'll have her on again, and we'll, you know, like talk to her. But what I'm curious about is the synchronicities that are going to start to happen as she starts to test different paths. Cause that's all part of flow too, is starting to see those different synchronicities that come up that you're like, okay, I guess I should be doing something in this space, because the signs keep pointing that way. That's what's like such a fun part of starting to explore your dreams, is when you start seeing those little signs, those little things that come up.
Well, and I really do want to encourage people, if you haven't read it, the Flow Life Funnel by Eva Payne is amazing. You can get it on Amazon. I really, truly, if you're going to be listening to us, it really does make sense. It's such a book of great inspiration. It's a motivator. It makes you do everything that you've been putting on the back burner. It kind of is a kick in the butt to go forward. So, and you know, the other thing that, oh gosh, why did her name just go blank? Karen say is she put you in the same with Jay Shetty.
Can you? Great. Seriously.
Oh, isn't that so cool? She said, oh yeah, and your book really just finished it up. It really just pulled it all together. And you know, all these other people say this and that, and yours is what really made me. So I'm telling you, all of you who are listening today, buy 2, get 1 for a friend, because honestly, it's an easy read. It's so motivating. You're going to love it. So,
and you know what? You never know. Like, okay, if you take Karen's interview and then go back on Friday and go watch Rebecca do the review of the book, what did she say? She said, I had all these thoughts. I should write a book. I should write a book. I've been thinking it. I have all the talents. I have all the skills, the passion for it. She just didn't have the belief. Like, that's the point. That's the hardest part for people sometimes, is just the belief in yourself. And that's why having a coach, having someone who can cheer you on, having someone who, when you hit those dips and you're like, I don't know, is this worth it? You need someone in your corner that you can call to say like, yes, it is worth it. Keep going. And even if it turns out to not be. What?
And the thing is when we told Karen that we were her cheerleaders, that we were here to support her no matter what it is, whatever the outcome, we were going to cheer her on. And did you see that big smile? I mean, she was so happy to know that somebody really cared. And that's what I want our viewers to know, is that we care about them too. And that's the whole point of this podcast is to,
and you're
to be your
gonna pick
cheerleaders.
up that book. You're gonna, that idea that has been in the back of your head that you wanted to try or do or whatever, it's going to validate it. And then you're gonna go, okay, what do I do now? Just start laying bricks. Just start.
It doesn't even have to be for a job. It could be if you want to redo furniture or you want to do something that's creative that you just tell yourself, oh, I can't do it, but you can do it. And you never know, even if it's photography, whatever it is, get out there and try something new, because if it gives you a lot of passion and happiness, it doesn't even matter if you're good, if you're happy doing it. So go out there and try something new.
Final thought as I put this up to so people to how to find us. Rose told me, you know, she's told us that she's been painting and stuff. And so then I went onto her Facebook and I saw a bunch of her pictures or portraits, I should call them, that she's been painting, and she made a little video of them. And I was just like, you go, Rose. Like, so excited for her that she's like started painting and doing something. So it can be anything. Okay, we're over time. I love you, friends, so much. Thank you for everything.
Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone. And
hit the bell.